Seventh grade, hit it!
What am I about to do?
Teach us something new. Students will be able to compare a historical memoir to an allegory.
That last word, 7th grade, is allegory. Let's say it on 3. 1, 2, 3.
Allegory.
So today I'm going to teach you all about allegory. So you all have been reading specific genres in your book clubs. You've been reading historical fiction. Some of you, if you've been reading Daniel's story or Jacob's Rescue, you've been reading historical fiction. If you've been reading Night, you've been reading a memoir, a true story from a person who survived the Holocaust. Today I'm going to teach you about a type of story called allegory. So an allegory, and actually let's turn to page 2 in our notes because you have some space to take notes about what I'm about to teach you. An allegory is, can you read this for us, Alexis, really loud?
What is the allegory? An allegory is a genre by which the characters or that represent other ideas or concepts.
Thank you. So an allegory, like Alexis said, I'm going to say one more time, is a genre of writing where characters or events represent other ideas or concepts. Take notes about this in your assignment.
It's been a while since I've read it, but I believe
It seems like it because like you have that like a different something to turn off. It's like a long metaphor to an allegory. Okay, so I was just talking with Tyler about a movie that she's seen that reminds her of allegory. And an allegory is like a long metaphor, where characters or events are explained by comparing them to something else. So I know a lot of you have read Tuck Everlasting last year, and you probably remember the really long metaphor with like the river. It's been a while for Tuck Everlasting for me, but the river represents like the movement of life through the years. So allegory is like a long type of metaphor where characters or events are meant to teach us about something else. So there are some famous examples. Some people think that Harry Potter is like an allegory for the story of Jesus because Harry Potter has to like sacrifice himself to defeat evil. So some people think that that Harry Potter is like an allegory for the story of Jesus Christ. Do you have space to write examples down? Let's do that. Shanice, please put an irresponsible E in your cup note. You don't have permission to be talking. You can put a responsible H as well. Thank you for handling it correctly. Okay. Another example of allegory is some people think is the movie Avatar. How many of you have seen that? Raise your hands. Okay. So some people believe that Avatar is an allegory for like white settlers in Native American lands. If you remember the story of Avatar, you know it's about humans who travel to another planet, and on that planet everything is, the planet's very healthy, no pollution, it's this like perfect world, but then what happens when the humans arrive, Mia? Destruction, Shane?
When it starts, all the plants and stuff start dying, and the big tree is in the middle, like, it's hurt.
Yeah, so the environment where they live is destroyed, or they attempt to destroy it. And so some people think that Avatar is like an allegory for when the lands belonging to Native Americans were destroyed by white settlers. So we're going to kind of take a step back now. You can put your writing utensil down and prep up tall so that you can listen. Simi, hands down from your face. Okay, so I was talking, Prince, you look perfect. Put a responsible T in your prep note. Destiny, you too, responsible T. Hands down, girls. Thank you. So I was talking with my friends about the movie Toy Story 3 recently. I'm sure a lot of you have seen that movie. And she said to me that she thinks Toy Story 3 is like an allegory for the Holocaust. And at first I thought she was crazy because like a kid's movie, it's like funny, and she was saying it's an allegory for this really serious thing. When I started to think about it, I thought she might be right. And I still don't know if the people who made Toy Story 3 intended for it to be an allegory for the Holocaust, but now that I'm thinking about it, I think she might be right. So I'm going to show you some parts of Toy Story 3, and I want you to think about, now that you have so much knowledge about the Holocaust and what was going on, I want you to think about how could what you see be an allegory for such a terrible thing? Okay. Thank you. All right, so we are going to see some clips from Toy Story 3, and you have room to write about what you're seeing. So I want you to track down to the bottom of page 2. Look down at it. So on one column, we're gonna watch about 5 really short parts of the movie, and you're gonna write some things that you're seeing from the movie and how you think they could be an allegory, a long metaphor for the Holocaust. So we'll have time to talk about it if you're not sure what I mean yet, before you get to see the other clips. So we'll have time to share and think about it together. Cameron? Yeah.
Someplace far. Yes.
Okay.
See how much we're going
Let's
for.
pause. And you can write in the first column just what was happening in this part. Write down what was happening in this part. And then this is not the most obvious part of the allegory to me, but I want to see what you think. So does anyone have an idea of how this could relate to, oh I'm glad some folks do, of how this could relate to what we've been reading? Bria, what do you think? Let's track Bria. Unless you're writing, finish quickly and then look at her. Go ahead,
So,
honey.
in my book, Night, it talks about how they're going someplace forward to read minds and stuff, but it ends up they're going to camp.
Bria, beautiful. Write down 5 responsible L's, Bria. That was very smart. Shane.
Just like Andy, he had his old life, and now he's like starting over with new life when he's going to college, and so it's like Germany was trying to start over and
Shame.
like get rid of
Excellent.
everything.
So Shane is saying that it's like Andy was trying to move on for his new life, in a new life, just like we know that Germany was trying to recover from World War I. Very good, Shane. Genesis, what do you think?
I agree with Bria. In the book of Daniel's story, they have their families having this meeting about what they should do to stay alive, and
Just like the Toys Here were doing. They were talking about what they could do, how they could survive. Very, very good, Genesis. Write 5 responsible L's in your front note. That was really smart thinking. Okay, I'm going to show you another one while you finish writing. So on the right-hand side of your chart, you can write down some of the things you heard or something else that you're thinking. How could what you saw here be an allegory for the Holocaust? So I'm going to give you about 1 more minute to write, and then we're going to watch another part. Stanford, it sounds really good in here. Can you all write down a responsible E on your prep note? If you are working on the second part of your chart, put a responsible I in your prep note. If you haven't started yet, start now. Write about what you saw. Write about what you saw first. I'm sure a lot of you are thinking about how this relates to what you've been reading. First, let's write. Deja. Yep, write down what you're thinking first. Okay, put your finger on your nose if you're ready to share. Okay, let's hear from Deja. Go ahead, Deja.
So I said, in the movie, I'm showing how the kids were treating toys
I
badly.
can hardly hear you. Bless you. Speak up, honey.
I said in the movie how the kids were treating the toys badly, and then connected to the Nazis treating the Jews badly.
Yeah, so let's think about what happened. The toys get sent away from their home to this place where they get treated really badly. Sounds familiar. Good, Deja. Write 5 responsible L's. Destiny, what are you thinking? Me, responsible R. I love that you're showing me you're listening. Go ahead.
Put this part with another part that happened, the bear. He's leading him through the.
Don't talk about that yet?
No, that's part.
Okay, go ahead.
The bear, he was sharing them around. That's when he put them into like the bad camp, section the bad camp.
Yeah.
And he went to the better camp of it.
Yeah, so you actually, I'm going to show you something a little bit like that, but there's one more Holocaust. Monet, what do you think?
I think that like when you read us that sample story yesterday about the girl, like how she wasn't a Jew though, but she had to be sent for adoption. Like the camp, like the other daycare who was like they was being treated like very nicely reminds me of the German people who didn't get treated badly, and then the tragic daycare, like the really messy one, kind of reminds me of the Jews and how they got treated.
About the 2 different ways that people were treated. Good. Okay.
No, wait.
So, let's keep our reactions under control. Tyler, you're playing with something in your mouth, and you should put it down. Thank you. Okay, I want you to, some of you started writing already, that's fine. I want you to tell the person next to you what this makes you think of based on your reading from the Holocaust. Go ahead and stop listening to that.
This makes me feel like he's Hitler, and treated the other people. You can say Mexicans is more like a Nazi.
Good job, Sarah.
What do you guys
What's happening to the boys' teachers?
Kim is like the Nazi.